Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Daily Wrap for what was Monday, the 9th of September, 2024. If you can believe it, my next to last streaming day of the week, because this is a very short streaming week for me because of my work schedule being all over the place recently. And what a day. The ups and downs. Whew, it was all over the place. Allow me to explain. So we started off today with a level 1 podcast that discussed various different topics, but one of the topics was that Low Tier God had made a video responding to my tweet that I had done like a week and a half ago. And I guess he had like it was like a while ago, but no one had sent me the video. I didn't even know about it. So I basically responded to it, and I definitely think you should give it a look. I already clipped out my response, his response, and it would be great if you would, leave his protective bubble and do something outside the box rather than just sit there and play with, games badly with his audience. But I don't know if he's ever going to at this rate. We'll see what happens. Outside of that, relatively tame podcast, because that was really all we talked about, and we hung out for a while. Today, it all went south for Myth Wukong, all right? So I've been playing, I actually looked this up. Myth Wukong, I've been playing it for around 24 gameplay hours. Out of those gameplay hours, I'm not kidding you, 12 hours have been in Chapter 3. 12 hours have been in Chapter 3, which is snow and ice, a prison, and then more snow and ice. It's incredibly boring. It's incredibly barren. There's not a lot going on besides a few optional mini-bosses here or there, a lot of which fight exactly like normal enemies anyway. They're not very interesting. And I just wanted it to end, and people kept telling me, don't worry, it's going to end, it's going to end. It took forever, all right? So today, I'm not even kidding you. I do the level 1 podcast. Now, I haven't played Myth Wukong in a week. I finished the podcast. I had 600 viewers. We go to play Myth Wukong. A lot of them stick around. But then they realize it's the same shit over and over. It's the same snow. It's the same fucking forest. Oh, look, a temple. An hour of the same looking temple. It's boring as fuck. Enemies are placed willy-nilly, no real setup. Like FromSoft, when they do these legacy dungeons, they set them up with traps, interesting hidden areas. Myth Wukong just walk around for 2 hours and explore and try to find random shit. Do a random fight here or there that's not fun. Oh, you died, backtrack. It's not well designed. The more I play Myth Wukong, the less I like this game. And that's sad because it started off really good in my opinion. I just think it degraded down to I just don't like it anymore. At the end of the day, forget this. By the end of the stream, I could barely hold 300 viewers because it was so fucking boring. I finally get to the final boss of Chapter 3. It's a 3-phase boss. The first phase is like 5 minutes. Then there's a cutscene. It goes to a completely different fight against a different boss. That's another 5 minutes. Then after that, it goes to stage 3, which is another like 10, 15 minutes. The whole boss fight's over an hour. I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's not supposed to be a boss. It's not supposed to be a fucking movie, right? And it just keeps going and going. The boss sucked. Basically, the boss was designed to have super armor, and you had to charge a move to break through it. It's just like not fun anymore. I'm like, dude, I'm so bored of this game. And the whole audience agreed. And guess what? By the end of the stream, we had lost more than half the audience from the podcast. Everyone was agreeing this game is fucking terrible. It's boring now. And I lost my king streak. The king streak of hitting the goals ended today because the game was so fucking boring. All right? I couldn't believe it. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. The king streak ended because halfway through the game, they lost all their momentum and don't know what to do with the rest of the game. And that's sad. Even as critical as I've been recently of games like Elden Ring and the like, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree DLC is way better than Myth Wukong. It just is. It's got more interesting areas that look different. It's got more variety of enemies. Yeah, it reuses some assets, but it's got some really unique fights too. This game, once you get to Chapter 3, it's boring as dirt. And I have absolutely no desire to keep playing it. I'm done with it. I'm serious. Like, I'm done. There's other games I want to play. We got the MVC collection. We've got Astrobot, which I'm playing now. And I have an announcement to make, but I'll announce it in a second. Another game. So I want to play those. I have no desire to fucking keep playing Myth Wukong. At this point, too, the hype's died. It was very popular last month, but because of all the shit that went down with me in the last couple of weeks, me having to respond to my documentary, which took a lot of time away, and all this shit, I haven't had enough time to really focus on it, and now I'm only halfway through it. Do you really think I want to play another 25 hours when I'm bored to tears of the game? No. So I'm done with it. Fuck Myth Wukong. The first 2 stages are great, and then it falls off a cliff, and it's boring as shit now, and I don't care about the rest of it. And what's funny is people in chat were like, yeah, just so you know, Chapter 4 arguably is just as bad as Chapter 3. Maybe it's a little better because it's not as long, but you're just in a cave. You're fighting spiders over and over and over and over. It's the same shit ad nauseum. Very boring. And I was like, oh my God. Well, I think I'm going to fucking tap out of this one. The truth is, I played so much FromSoft shit recently. Last year, it was Lies of P. Then, earlier this year, it was me doing my second run through Elden Ring. Then we did another Crab's Treasure. Then we did Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree. I'm not kidding you. All of that stuff is better than Black Myth Wukong, in my opinion. The one thing Black Myth Wukong has going for it is the graphics. That's about it. Okay. I'll talk more in depth about this on tomorrow's podcast. All right. But anyway, I'm done with it. And I couldn't believe the king streak ended because of this fucking game basically going right downhill when it hit chapter 3. I couldn't believe it. So obviously I'm not upset. Like, I'm not angry, but it's disheartening because it's like, I don't feel like I'm the reason why the streak ended. It's because the fucking game sucked and people left and just hoped that people were going to support because they didn't want to stick around to watch the shitty game. And that sucks, right? There's nothing I can really do about that. So tonight was Street Fighter 6. Honda in Street Fighter 6 for the first time in ages. In fact, I hadn't even used Honda since I got this frame almost a month ago. So it was really cool to play with Honda tonight. I did well. I won way more than I lost. I had some really good sets against people higher ranked than me who I beat. Of course, Scrubs beat me too. What are you going to do? But I won more than I lost, and I gained points. I think my Honda was like at 1530. I ended the night at like 1550, 1560. I actually was going higher, and then I went on a losing streak, which sucked. But overall, I'm gaining in the ranks. I'm getting points. I'm ranking up every character I'm using now in Street Fighter 6. I'm getting better with and getting more points, which is really, really good. So guess what? Tonight, Street Fighter 6 stream, pretty good support. We got a good amount of super chats, a few gifted memberships, and guess what? We hit the tip skull. So now there's no streak, because the only way there could be a streak is if you do it more than once, right? So there's no streak yet, but perhaps we got the momentum back. And ladies and gentlemen, I think we will have momentum, because here's the deal. Tomorrow on the daytime stream, I'm going to be playing Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. Someone donated it to me during the Street Fighter 6 stream. They said, it sucks you didn't play it today. Really sucks what happened with Black Myth Wukong. Here's Space Marine. Give it a shot. So I'm going to play that tomorrow. What we're going to do tomorrow on the day stream is going to be a level 1 podcast, basically finishing my coverage of Black Myth Wukong, giving you my final thoughts. We're also going to cover this Sony announcement where they're apparently going to announce the PS5 Pro and any other stuff that happens. Plus, then after that, we're going to play Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 for the first time for a 3-hour stream and see how it is. Since I didn't buy it, it's awesome. I can play it, and if I don't really like it, I don't have to continue, but I'm hoping it's good. A lot of people are saying it is pretty good. They think I'll like it. So there you go. That's tomorrow's daytime stream. Tomorrow night, yes, we are still going to play WWE Champions. It's going to be the first time I'm playing it during this whole monthly event. So basically, I'm behind everyone because the monthly event you're supposed to play the first week, and it's the second week of the month, and now I'm getting around to it. But we'll see what happens with that. If a lot of people show up and it's well supported, I may do some polls for Hogan's brother, Philomania. I even have my shirt I'm going to wear during the stream and everything. So we'll see what happens there. Again, if people get excited for that, I will absolutely ham it up and we'll do some polls and see what happens with that. And that's tomorrow. So if you wanted Astrobot tomorrow, I apologize. This week has been very weird. What I can tell you is this. Next week will be a normal week of 6 streaming days. All right? So we'll be back to normal. We'll have good amounts of gameplay. It won't be like, oh, I'm, missing out on certain things. We'll be able to do everything. I love Astrobot. I can't wait to play it again. It just sucks that this week happened how it did and I only got to play it once. Black Myth Wukong, honestly, I probably should have dropped ages ago, but I wanted to keep giving it a chance, and now people don't even care about it anymore. Like, people aren't even showing up, and it killed my fucking streak. That kills me, that the game itself, it wasn't that people don't like me, it wasn't that people were worn out, they just didn't like the game. They were like, fuck this, I'm going to come back later, and they did. They came back in droves. For Street Fighter, we had almost 600 viewers all night. For Black Myth Wukong, we couldn't even retain 300, because it was so fucking boring. All right, everyone, have a good night. I'll see you all tomorrow for the Level 1 podcast, the premiere of Space Marine 2, and WE Champions time, brother. Have a good night. See you tomorrow. Peace out.